Good morning or good afternoon. Welcome to our new webinar, Managing AI in Quality Assurance. How to achieve predictable, measurable results with modern LLMs. My name is Vladimir Viduchenko, Jr. I'm a Managing Director at Softbecom.
Hello, and my name is Sergey Bochkarev, and I'm responsible for sales for the Softbecom.
Softbecom Berlin is an IT company. We are based in Berlin, founded in 2015. Headquarters are here in Berlin, in Europe. We operate worldwide. We produce, service, install, manage, and support software for contact center, server desks, and process automation, and everything that is in that field. Our latest product is a SaaS quality assurance tool named QuaVacht. A short context overview. We've done a series of webinars already dedicated to quality assurance, so you can look those up in YouTube or on our website. This time we want to be more specific in what concerns management of LLMs, but first this context overview. So we see historically three methods of quality assurance, of evaluation of conversations. So manual evaluation with artificial intelligence, machine learning, and the more contemporary way, which includes evaluation with the help of large language models, LLMs. Manual quality assurance, you probably know more about it than we do. It's a very robust and proven method, including humans who are the best brains in the world so far. But it has certain challenges that it has to deal with, and that is consistency, because every person can give different marks to the same conversation in different states of mind, different times of day, depending on what they are experiencing at this moment. Of course, this can be dealt with, and special trainings can help, and so people are actually being put in line so that they are becoming more consistent. But basically, that involves managerial effort and takes time and money. So the second challenge is coverage. In contact center operations that we know of, the maximum percent of coverage is about 5% of manual coverage. 1, 2 normally. So that's something that you can't really increase, because otherwise it becomes economically not feasible. If you want to crunch it up to 100%, then you will have to hire a separate quality assurance manager for each agent. That won't work. Scalability is in the same way. So you have to basically struggle with going up and down in volume. Flexibility, when you want to increase a number of parameters, or you want to change them, or you want to introduce a whole different scores, you have to teach people anew. So that again takes time. That is managerial effort, and that really is as well a challenge. Put together, that affects cost. So in terms of money, in terms of effort, in terms of time, that's something that has to be dealt with. Then automation came along with machine learning, and it has its upsides and downsides. So the constraints for machine learning systems are such that you need large data sets of correctly labeled conversations to get started. You have to train the model, and the better the data sets, the better the model will be trained. So the quality of this training data is absolutely paramount Without it, you won't get reasonable results. And normally, the best results you can get are the the same as the quality of your training data. So if your training data is 90% accurate, then you will be getting 90% accurate results. Not necessarily, but normally so. And 90% is actually quite a high percentage, even for humans, because sometimes on the bordering situations, the humans who are labeling conversations are getting confused themselves. So labeling data more generally. So the next one is that ML system does not understand unusual situations. It does not understand sarcasm. It does not understand unclear situations with yes or no. So it's not suited to do exactly that. And every time you want to change something, you want to change parameters, you want to introduce new ones, you want to add something, you have to retrain the system. And that again is a huge amount of time and effort normally. So the good thing is that it is scalable. You can increase the volumes, whatever you like, it will be growing. And you can use this system with ease. But the downside is rigid, it's difficult to change, and it does not understand semantics. So ML does not understand what is being said. Then came along the large language models, or LLMs. These are the basis for most of the artificial intelligence in daily use. Every one of you have surely tried those out or using that daily. What's characteristic of these large language models is that you modify the evaluation criteria by changing prompt descriptions, that these parameters that you're putting into metrics that you want to get scores with are given in a natural language. Changes to parameters take effect immediately. Basically, each time your parameters are being put into prompt into the LLM, so it doesn't take any time to take effect. Interpretation of indirect communication signals like sarcasm and unclear yes or no. Yes, it is possible. The system can understand it. Because it understands the semantics. And it gives results or overviews in human readable explanations, or it can do so. So basically, you can communicate with the system as you communicate with a human, which is useful and really helps. It's intuitive. So the upsides are clear. It's scalable, flexible, and does not require training. Basically, it cannot be trained. So it's trained by the vendor. The downsides are the instability and variability. So we don't really know, since an LLM is probabilistic, it's a system based on probabilities. It has its deviations, and it is part of how it is built. So it is so it should be so. And if you give the same prompt 2 times, it will probably give you results that will slightly differ. And you can check it out always. So every system is so. So this variability, it has to somehow be contained, and that's the challenge for quality assurance. And today we're focusing on exactly that. So what are the methods to contain this variability and get consistent results with LLMs and contemporary QA systems? Here is system overview of it's your typical QA system. It's very much simplified because many blocks are not here. They're not relevant for today's conversation. We are using our own system called QAwacht as an example, but it could be any other system. On the left side is the voice input. This can be done through connectors, in our case, installed on the workstations of agents, or you can upload records of conversations into the system, so it's offline. Those get into the ASR block, so voice is transcribed to text. These transcripts go to LLM. The evaluation is done there, and they also go to the database so that they can be used later in analytical system and reports. On the right upper side, you have the prompts that go into the LLM. Here you have 4 different ways of prompts. General directives and special directives are being provided by the vendor, that is us in this case, but descriptions of parameters, which are metrics, and scales are adjustable by admins of the clients who are using the system. And those are being loaded into the LLM. Transcripts are being evaluated with the help of those. You get that results as scores and summaries go to the database of operational results. Then these can go to analytical systems. CureVac doesn't have those as a SaaS block, but that is available on project basis. And the database delivers reports and dashboards, which you can use for steering conclusions, for actually making the system a part of your business processes. The analytical system can provide more than that. It can provide you insights. It can show you trends. It can show you patterns in these conversations, because the beauty of it is that when you have a large collection of conversations, you can obtain much more useful information out of there, which can help you improve sales, for example, or improve customer experience and so on, depending on your demands. So what tools do we have to manage this LLM behavior? The management tools are, well, the precise metric descriptions and prompt design. So we'll go specific today on the methods that you can use here. So zero-shot or few-shot prompting, logic and external processing, and calibration. So zero-shot and few-shot prompting. I will switch to show you how it looks shortly, but just a short overview. So zero-shot is you don't set any additional frameworks. You, for example, tell the system, please give me an assessment, was the agent polite or not? And the system gives you its opinion, yes or no. So you rely on the model's common understanding. You don't really tell it what you think is polite. Few shot is you give the system a range, and for each meaning in this range, you give your example or you give a description. So you explain to the system, what do you mean by very polite, not very polite, absolutely not polite, and rude, for example. To be clear, you're not training the model in this case it's not trained, can't be. The system does not memorize examples, and what you're doing, you're clarifying the context of the task. It's the important part. So I'm stopping sharing for a short time, and I'll do a different one. Okay, and here we go to metrics. and this is QAWACT system, so it has its metrics. And I'm showing you now a default metric, which is provided by us. So it's always there, so customers can start just doing something immediately. Can start playing around. So this reading the topmost parameter in the metric is basically a Boolean, so it's yes or no, and it is that the system is being asked rate whether the operator greeting the client professionally or warmly. So the system has to decide what does that mean. So, and in this system, Boolean is also numerical. So, for example, you have 0 for no and 10 for yes. You can set those values at different levels. That's waiting. I will get to that shortly. So, and here the next one, politeness, is a few shot. So, we provide the system with more details on what we mean by lower or higher scores. So, for example, 0 to 1 indicate rude, disrespectful, or impolite behavior, and so on. Scores 2 to 3 reflect insufficient politeness. The operator may have sounded mechanical, cold, or inattentive, so on. Scores 4 to 5 represent a neutral or formally polite interaction, so on and so forth, so up to 10. So this is an example of a few shot. In so on, and you can always add your own parameters. So the darker gray are, well, the default ones. You can delete them if you don't want to use them, but you can add some too. So here we have added active listening just for our today's conversation, and it's also a few shot with some details on how we think the agent should listen and participate in the conversation. So we have recorded several test conversations to show how that actually looks. And now I go to dashboards, and here are all the columns are the parameters in a metric. And so here the rightmost column is active listening, this test column. And so we have like the yellow intuitively not very high average score. So we can drill it down and see why is that score not so high. So we go to, these are conversations, individual conversations, and so the score is the overall score. So the score here is being added up from all the parameters. That works because parameters can be weighted. And again, I will get to that shortly. And here the right column is this active listening, because I just clicked on it, so the system shows me what's going on there. And here is an example of a conversation with a high score, like 9 in this case. Let's look at it. Okay, here we have the transcript of this conversation on the left, and on the right we have all the parameters with scores, and here we see the active listening. So the system gave us a 9. So the person who was on the servicing end of this conversation was polite, and actually it goes about buying a pair of tickets, and the customer wants seats that are not where, well, in a sector where people don't stand, so that this customer and his wife can sit and still see the show. And so the agent went on to explain that there are a few pairs of seats available in the section B12 and so on. So basically participated in this conversation and provided ample information. And yeah, the customer, well, was more or less happy. And so this active listening parameter was set at 9. If you don't agree at some point, you can basically change it manually. That's the job of the human overseer of the system. Now let's go to a different conversation. So this one, we have a very low active listening score. So set at 3. Here in this one, the agent was rude and didn't provide this additional information, and basically the conversation was very short and ended abruptly. And so the 3 is probably even too high, I would say, for this active listening score. So if I want to change that, if I am not happy with how the system reacts, I can change it manually here. And I can add to that, I can go to the metric and I can do what is called calibration. So it's the next step on this few shot attitude, I can give examples. So into this parameter, I just can write down examples. So if this and this is like that, give it a 0, for example. Or I can add a different parameter. There are up to 15 parameters per metric in this realization. And I can give the system weights, how weights work. So I can add a different parameter for like swearing. Here I will give the description of what do I mean by swearing, and I can set it to Boolean. So it is yes or no, and it's a grave situation if a person is swearing. So if the agent is swearing, I will give it a -20. And if not, then it doesn't affect the overall score. So how it works, if a person, if the agent starts to insult customers, this person will get -20 immediately, and it will go into the metric, and you will see it in the dashboard. So in this column that will be called swearing, you will see a red circle, and you will know that you will need to look into this person and into this or that conversation and take decisions that take managerial decisions. So you have to re-educate the person, fire the person, I don't know, take HR action, so on and so forth, depending on your work process. I think I have covered most of it at this moment, and let us get back to the presentation. I will stop share shortly and do a different one. So we have just discussed the few shot. We have discussed the calibration, so you can give negative examples too. You can give weights, Boolean, and range, and you can mix and play with all of that until you get the score that you agree with. Eventually, the quality assurance manager is the person who is responsible for the overall scoring, and so needs to be sure that the system works like this manager would have done scoring themselves. Yeah, so only then can you trust that the LLM actually is doing the job properly. So we have just discussed these examples. So by default, we use a range from 0 to 10, but it can be changed. 15 parameters per metric. Final score is sum of parameters. Boolean are numerical, but yes or no, meaning yes 10 or minus 20 or plus 15, depending on what you want, and no as 0. And the range determines the relative weight of each parameter. So we can give it 100, so that one parameter will outweigh the sum of all the other parameters, if that's your play. And there is one more thing that is important, that the additional parameters may also be derived from metadata. Like, for example, after a conversation is concluded, some metadata can be transferred to the system. It can be preprocessed, I mean, the conversation. And for example, we can transfer the length of the conversation in minutes to the system, and it will be a parameter like the ones I have shown, but it will be showing the length of the conversation, and you can set, for example, it's so that a longer conversation, like more than 3 minutes, is a negative. That's a negative value. People don't have to talk a lot, or otherwise, depending on what's your goal. So these metadata from preprocession can influence the score. One more important thing about managing the LLM is that you can also include logic and external processing. But it's that has to be done like with caution, because as the LLMs are getting smarter and they are getting cheaper, people tend to, like, for example, instead of writing the descriptions for parameters, they tend to upload whole reference books or big spreadsheets or some complex logic, or demand complex calculations from the system. So they just dump all the information that they have into the prompt and see what comes of it. So results may become unstable, to put it mildly. Actually, they have to be tested, and it's unpredictable. So that's what we would not recommend to do. So best way is to divide responsibilities. LLMs do semantic interpretation. That's what they are for, basically. That's what they do best. External components like some external blocks for preprocessing or post-processing do calculations and structured logic. And the human manager is the one who divides those two and understands how these to be divided. So we strongly believe that at this moment in time, human managers should be giving clear instructions to the systems, like the one I have shown in natural language, so that the systems understands what to do. In our system, we use preprocessing and post-processing layers to do specifically that job that lies outside of semantic interpretation. Now I will give a word to Sergey. Sergey, your move. He will do a
Yes.
short demonstration of some features.
Thank you, Vladimir. So now everybody should see my screen. Vladimir, do you see my
I
screen?
do, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Then the participants see it also. So Vladimir already has shown you some details about our system, but I will do a short overview how the system works. So if you want to try out the system, to play around a little bit with the system, then just contact us and we will give you instruction how to use the system. It's really easy. It's ready to use. So you just need a few minutes to set it up. So Vladimir has shown you already the dashboard. So how to use the system? First of all, you can enter your details, so name, your organization, and so on. And then you need to put in some users. These users are quality managers, so everybody who is rating some conversations of the agents. The next thing to do is to put in the agents. So you can add here agents with a list, for example. If you have already a list with agents, you can just upload that, or you can just put in one agent by one agent with pushing on the plus button. If you have different departments in your company and you need to do different evaluation for these departments, then you can enter here also some departments, set up later the metrics for each department, and then the evaluation for different departments is done differently in the system. So what happens if you add here the agents? Then the agents will automatically receive an email with a link, and this link allows the agent to download the connector or our connector, and this connector is needed in order to capture the voice of the agent when he's speaking with some customers, and then the transcription can be done by our system and the evaluation also. And you have the possibility here to activate and to deactivate the agents if you want to do some evaluation of an agent or not. Or maybe you just want to do it like maybe from 2 till 4 p.m., for example. Then you can activate them agents in this time, and the rest of the time they are not activated. So if you have multi-skill agents and you have a lot of different projects, then we have also the possibility to get an integration with your system, or to do an integration with your system. And then our system recognizes in which project the agent is speaking with a customer, and then the evaluation can be done differently also. So Vladimir already has shown the metrics. Here you have the possibility to do some, or to add some metrics or indicators for the evaluation. We have already some indicators, but if you need to set up new ones, you can add them by pushing on the plus. Vladimir has shown you already how to do that. So the next point are the reports. Here you have also the possibility to create all kind of reports. You can do some filters before you see the reports. For example, you want to see just the reports of a specific department, then you can put the filter with the department, or you can put a filter on a specific agent, or you have a specific indicator what you want to check out. Then you can add here different filters and generate reports. And how Vladimir has shown you also, you have the possibility to see the details of different agents of the calls by pushing on these details. And then you see here the transcription. If you are working with recorded files, so it's not always necessary to. Vladimir, do you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I
Okay,
do.
perfect, because I had a short frozen phase, but now it should be
Yeah, I'm
fine.
back on track.
Yes, and if you are working with recorded files, you can also use the system with recorded files. In this case, maybe you don't need a connector. So if you just want to get an evaluation of the voice files that you have already recorded, then you can put them in the system, and then the evaluation of the recorded files is done. And here in this example, we see the recorded file here, and you can also play the recorded file and read the transcription and check if everything is fine. So then integrations, a short thing about integrations. If you are working with recorded files and these files are on a server, then you can connect here the server of this recorded files. Then the files will be uploaded to the system, and then the evaluation can be done. And if you have different kind of projects and you want to do different kind of evaluations of these projects, then we recommend always to our customer to do a CTI integration connection to your system, and then our system is able to recognize different projects and can do the evaluation in different ways. So you can also try the system out with just put in the different kind of conversations one by one. So you can go to this conversation import, push on the plus button and add here some voice files, and then the voice files can be evaluated also. A short thing about billing, you have the possibility to buy tokens, and every token means that there is done one voice file, so 1 minute of a voice. If you're using the system live, so it's live voice. If you're using the system with recorded voice files, then it's the recorded voice file, and each token is 1 minute transcription of this voice with a customer. So when the agent is speaking with a customer. And if you are putting here some agents, we are giving you 400 free tokens, so you can play around with the system and try it out and see how it could help to your business. And the more tokens you buy, the cheaper then the tokens get. So here, when you buy 100,000 tokens, then each token is just 2 cents. So then the last point is help. So if you want to check some details of the system, you can check our frequently asked questions. We have a documentation of our system, and if you need personal support or help, or you have an issue with the system, then you can just add here a topic, a description, send it to us, and then it will create automatically a ticket in our system, and then our IT staff will come back to you and try to help you with your issue. So that's it. I'm jumping back to the dashboards, where you see the different kind of evaluations and can click on them, and then you will get automatically the reports how Vladimir already has explained to you. So I'm ready. Then it's your turn, Vladimir, again. I will stop the sharing.
Yep, thank you, Sergey. So we only have a couple slides left. And yeah, so the operational impact that is being provided with the systems built around these principles is that you can analyze insights and support your steering decisions. And in coaching, that's most clear. You can cover up to 100% of conversations, quickly identify problematic interactions, like I have shown, and you can do targeted re-education. You can set up automatic triggers for retraining, and that really can become an automated process. With large-scale conversation analysis, which starts after you have accumulated 500 or 1,000 conversations for each topic, you can identify successful sale patterns, for example, you can replicate them across teams, or you can identify customer experience patterns. So you actually start to have your own array of information that you can use for different means and for different deepened perceptions. Other operational fields that you can target here, where you can make decisions with the help of quality assurance systems, is quality control of employees in the field, for example, like some of our customers do. Um, so people who are not actually office workers, they are doing something somewhere. You can search for specific content in call archives, or you can perform compliance and audits, see if whatever is happening on your conversational end actually complies with the company's rules or the governmental rules. So there are many more possible uses for different business processes within a company with the help of a quality assurance system. So it's much, much more than just running your workforce on the front desk. Um, so the key takeaways, we have explained how to manage your AI in LLM-based QA solutions. We have demonstrated what methods can be used and how metrics can be set and adjusted, and we have shortly discussed operational impact for business. More on that we have already discussed in our previous webinar, so you can check those on our website. Com/quality assurance or softbecom.com/blog, or in YouTube, you can search softbecom, you will find our previous webinars. So these are our contacts. I will probably suggest to move to Q&A. Sergey, what do
Yes,
we
we
have
have some
then?
questions. First question, will the recording be sent to us?
Yes, after the webinar, after it has been processed, we will send you the recording.
Okay, perfect. Then second question, which languages are supported?
By default, English, German, Portuguese, Spanish. We are working on more languages, so each release adds a different language. If you have some specific interests, give us a shout. Most languages we can turn on quite quickly. Some will need specific adjustments because not all languages are being understood by the same models and the same at the same level of quality, so to say. So for some languages, specific preprocessing or specific models need to be used, but that's definitely something that can be done.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And last question is, what do I need to start?
Basically, you need like 15-20 minutes of your time. You go to www.softbecom or www.softbecom.com /quality dash assurance, and you set up an account. You don't need a credit card. You just will get access to your system and to our system, I mean to QA and there you can play around. You will be granted 400 tokens. You will just add your agents or add your recording, and that's it. If you have any questions on setting up an account or adding agents, so on, just write us a short email. We will definitely help you.
Perfect, Vladimir. Thank you very much. So
Mm.
that's it. We are ready with the webinar.
Yeah, there's one more question.
One more question. Okay.
Yeah.
I see it now. Yes.
Mhm.
So, does it work in parallel with nice software in voice process? Also, can it be integrated with Jira platform?
So this system is platform independent. It can be used in parallel in terms of voice. It can be used in parallel with any system. Teams or whatever. So because it gets the voice from the connector that is installed on the local workstation of an agent. So this voice can be generated wherever. In terms of deeper integration, yes, of course, it can be integrated with anything that has an API. So, but then it's project-based, so it needs to be understood what do you actually need to achieve and what integration you need.
Yes,
Uh,
in this case, if you have just if you want to get some details and you need some information about integration, just contact us. We will set up a short meeting with you with our specialists who are doing the integrations, and then we can explain you how to do that and is it easy to do that.
yes. So I believe that is it. Thank you a lot for attending the webinar. Once again, here are our contacts below. We'll send you the record and hope to see you next time because we are planning many more. Thank you.
Thank you. Wish you a nice
Bye.
day. Bye bye.